Hello everyone, Happy New Year. I am so excited to be back. Today I'm going to be rounding up the 20 best positive environmental news stories from 2020. So if you aren't following me on Instagram, do it. I'm gonna link to that up here because every Friday I do a series called Good News Friday where I round up the best positive environmental headlines. I feel like a lot of environmental news can be pretty doom and gloom. So all I want to do by highlighting positive news is just to remind you that great things and good things are happening. For me personally, having positive environmental news is just a really good reminder of what I'm working for and what can be achieved and what is possible, because you're working really hard, and it's always good to feel those kicks of happiness to encourage you to keep going. It's not to say that our work is done and that our work is over. It's simply to say that good things are happening because you're continuing to push for change. So I'm really excited to be sharing the top 20 positive news headlines with you. Of course, I will put up the news articles so you can see the sources as well. All right, let's get to it. I love this initiative from Singapore to plant 1 million native trees. About 90% of the mangrove forests in Singapore have been lost. So they're specifically focusing and targeting mangroves. And what's so great about this is mangroves absorb so much carbon. It's estimated that 20 to 50 billion mangrove trees, if the seagrass is included, absorbs just as much carbon as 1 trillion regular trees. So this is a super great initiative. They want to ensure that every single resident has access to green space. They want every person to be able to access a green space within 10 minutes, and they're building a 990-acre park specifically designed for migratory birds in order to boost the biodiversity in their area and make sure that their spaces are green, people are happy, and of course, it's also really great for our planet. IKEA recently launched their very first secondhand store. I think this is a great step in the right direction and also a big trend that we're really going to see in 2021. We're going to start seeing major corporations that sell first-hand products start offering second-hand products. I believe there's also a few other places starting this, maybe Nordstrom. I can't remember off the top of my head. I will link to a few articles here who are offering second-hand shops inside their main shops, which means second-hand shopping is going to be something that is way more accessible for a lot of people. And I'm really excited to see how this evolves and how our secondhand economies are going to be fueling better and smarter purchasing decisions, and see how that really affects the overall consumption of new products. So I'm really excited to see where this is going. Oregon's very last coal power plant shut down. Of course, it's always good to hear news about coal-powered plants shutting down, because currently right now it is cheaper to build new solar than it is to use existing coal. So I think we're definitely going to be seeing even more energy transitions as we approach into 2021. A really great news story that came out of 2020 is that solar is now the cheapest electricity in history. Like in the history of energy, of all time, solar is now the absolute cheapest of all time. Vistra, the #1 emitter of climate warming pollution in the United States power sector, will close all remaining power plants in Illinois and Ohio. New Jersey just passed the toughest ban on single-use plastics in the entire country. It's not just a ban on plastic bags, it's also a ban on paper bags. It's tackling the core of the problem, which is a single-use material. Tons of good news is rolling out of New Jersey this year. Seriously, New Jersey is on their climate game. New Jersey is also aiming to lead the US in offshore wind energy. I am so excited about more offshore wind energy because it is such a great thing that we need to make sure that we are harnessing. It is so much more effective than land wind is ocean wind. That's a very rudimentary way of putting it. But New Jersey is working on building the largest plant to exist, and they're hoping to get most of their energy from it by 2035. The New Jersey is also the very first state to require to teach kids in school about the climate crisis. So tons of great stuff happening out of Jersey this year. Go Garden State. One of the things that really excites me is that Sony has made a pledge to eliminate single-use plastics during their filming. I'm really excited to see this because one TV show can go through more than 100,000 water bottles per season of a show. It's absolutely madness. So I really hope they're going to be bringing in more refill stations and making sure to get rid of that. And as someone who has been in the entertainment industry, worked in theater, worked in film, I can tell you craft services is a hot mess for single-use plastics. So I'm really excited to see them stepping up their game. In fact, I personally, anytime a film crew comes over to my house to film, more in 2019, I asked everyone to make sure they did zero waste craft services and was always completely blown away by how beautiful and amazing everything was. I'll have a couple pictures here of the craft services that we had, and I really hope that maybe Sony will continue and consider employing something really similar so that there's way less waste than there currently is. Germany shut down all 84 of their coal plants. Awesome. And Vermont is the very first state to ban putting food scraps in the trash. I love this. We need more mandated composting. I love composting so much, and if you're looking for more information on how to get started with composting and or how to build your own bin, I'm going to link to one of my videos up here so you can catch that. Dole is replacing plastic wrap on their bananas with banana leaves. I think this is brilliant. I hope to see more places doing this. What an amazing compostable alternative and something that's already growing on the tree. It's a win-win. It's so simple. More than 100 scientists published a paper saying that it is safe to bring reusable containers during this time. I really hope that this is going to be catching on more. More coffee shops, more places, and more businesses will allow us to start bringing our own containers again and reducing waste in this way. Dunkin' Donuts has finally ditched their styrofoam cups. Finally. No more styrofoam cups. A U.S. judge canceled the permit for the Keystone Pipeline. This is a huge victory for Standing Rock Sioux tribe, and I am so incredibly grateful to all the activists and all of the Indigenous people who worked tirelessly on this to make sure that this pipeline was canceled. South Australia was the very first state in Australia to ban single-use plastics. Ireland completely banned single-use coffee cups. Very similar to how bag bans work, where you have to pay a small fee in order to get a disposable bag. Now you have to pay a small fee, I believe 5 cents, in order to get a disposable single-use coffee cup. I'm hoping this will encourage more and more people to bring reusable coffee cups, and we should see this starting to phase in 2021. The ocean cleanup crew recovered over 100 tons of plastic from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Costa Rica ran on 98% renewable energy for the 5th year in a row. And then lastly, everyone's favorite good news story of the year, the absolute all-time favorite good news story, is that Kenya is having an elephant boom. Tons and tons of baby elephants everywhere. And how could we not be more excited about baby elephants? I'm gonna put some pictures of baby elephants up here, and hopefully that brings a huge smile to your day. If you're interested in more good news reports or seeing my Instagram series turned into a YouTube series, please let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to be notified when new videos are coming out, and I will see you next week with a new video.